Hello. I'm going to be talking about Fresh, which is a movie that just came out on Hulu. I don't really know anyone else who's watched this movie, so I'm just going to talk about it on here. If you've watched it, let me know if you agree with what I think, what you felt about the movie. If you haven't watched it and you don't plan on it, don't worry, I'll explain what happens. If you haven't watched it and you want to, don't watch this video. Spoilers ahead. I'm just going to talk about it and we'll see how it goes. I went into this movie not really knowing anything other than Daisy Edgar Jones is in it, Sebastian Stan is in it, and it's supposed to be horror. The trailer showed nothing. Went into it not knowing if it was going to be good or bad. I really tried to go in with an open mind. It started off with Daisy Edgar Jones, who plays Noah. She is on a date that's obviously like from a dating app. Her and this guy is not good. This guy is just the worst in every single way possible. Maybe they overdid it a little bit, but honestly, I do think it's a little realistic. There are people like that. And so he thinks it went well, and then at the end of the day, she's like, I don't really like you that much. And then he's like, well, you're ugly anyways. That's realistic. And then she meets up with her friend, and who's Molly. Molly is that girl. Noah's talking to Molly about how she doesn't believe in love, and these dating apps are so stupid. I don't like this part of the movie. I honestly think the first 30 minutes should have not been in the movie, in my opinion. This should have not been a 2-hour movie. It should have been an hour and a half movie. A long movie. I honestly, at this point, I was thinking maybe this movie's not for me. I was gonna not watch it, but I was like, I'm gonna keep going because it's only 20 minutes in. Noah goes to the grocery store, and who is there in the vegetable aisle? None the other than Sebastian Stan, who plays Steven. Or so we think his name is Steven. Steven is, trying to talk to her. They're like talking to each other. He shows her cotton candy crepes. In my opinion, it's like really awkward and they don't hit it off, but I think I thought wrong because he asks for her number. She gives it to him. And I think we're supposed to think that they hit it off. I don't think that they did. I don't think they had much chemistry in that part of the movie. Not until the very end do I think they had chemistry. And I don't blame Daisy Edgar Jones because of normal people. Okay, sorry. I'm not roasting Sebastian Stan in this video, I swear. And he already has creepy vibes. Like, the first time I saw him, I knew this man is not good news. Again, I don't know if maybe Sebastian Stan is a very good actor. Maybe he just gives off those vibes. He does it a little too well. They exchange numbers, and later on, they go on a date to a bar. And the bartender, important to know, the bartender is Noah's best friend Molly's ex-boyfriend. He's talking about how he's a surgical resident for reconstructive surgery. And red flag, surgical resident, he does not have time to be doing this right now. He's busy. And he doesn't have money to be going to bars, okay? This man is in so much debt. And he's probably so tired. There's no way that he is a reconstructive surgery resident. They hit it off. I don't think they do. And she invites him over and they hook up. So basically, Noah and Steven go and they plan on going on a trip together. What? No. Red flag. And he's like, I'll take you to a surprise place. Are you kidding me? He's driving her to like the middle of nowhere and you're just like, what are you thinking? She's losing, connection and she has no Wi-Fi. And she's not really thinking anything of it. And then he's like, wait, can we actually stay the night at my house and then go on the surprise trip after? And she's like, sure. This man, they go to his house, and this man has a crazy house, like insane. Surgical resident does not have a house like this. It is insane. It's like very dim, very like bachelor pad. He does not have time for this. And so they go to his house and he's like, I'm gonna make my own version of this drink. And she's now watching him make the drink. And of course, she eventually gets drugged. And then she wakes up in a room handcuffed. In a room. And he's like, yeah, basically I perform surgery and then I sell it to people, your body parts to people. Things like hair and, he goes on. Pretty much everything. And she's like freaking out and, she's giving her performance. Stacey Edgar Jones, she's giving a performance as she should, as I knew she would. And you can hear there's other girls in other rooms, and they start talking to each other. I believe the movie should have started when she woke up. That whole lead up was so boring. It was so boring and unnecessary. She's now stuck. She can't get anywhere. He's like cutting out her butt. I don't know. And I could tell for him they were trying to go for like a Patrick Bateman vibe. He's like listening to like 80s music and he's like chopping like meat, human meat, and he's like chopping and he's like dancing. This movie is not, not American Psycho, I can tell you that. But, they tried. She got into surgery and he cut her butt out. I don't know why he didn't go for the hair first. I guess they didn't want to make her look ugly. I get it. While this is all happening, her friend is getting suspicious, Molly, is getting suspicious because she hasn't heard from Noah in a long time. And Molly now is doing some investigating because she's sensing these like texts that she's getting, which are actually from Steven, don't sound a lot like Noah's texts. And so she starts doing investigating. She hits up her ex-boyfriend, who was the bartender, and asks if he can get his Steven's credit card information. And lo and behold, we find out his name is not Steven. And then she finds out he has a wife and like kids. And then Molly, she's like, here's my location, sends it to her ex-boyfriend, the bartender, and is like, okay, I'm gonna go here. Here's my location in case something happens. Because she has a brain. She goes to his wife's house. Molly's like, hey, I think that your husband is dating my friend and took her somewhere, and I don't know where she is, and I don't know if she's safe. And the wife is like, what? Like, no, I don't think so. Sus behavior. And we end up finding out that she's in on it. The wife is in on it. And then the husband comes home, Steven, and then ends up taking Molly to his place and starts doing stuff to her too. So, poor Molly. And now the ex-bartender, or the ex-boyfriend who is the bartender, he's now like getting also suspicious and trying to find out where she is, and the location goes off. Noah has no idea Molly got captured yet. And Noah, she's talking to the other girl across the wall that's also been captured, her name's Penny. And Penny's like, oh, like, you slept with him? And Noah finds out means that he must really like her. Steven, like, has a special liking for her. Noah's like, I have to take advantage of this. And so Noah starts, like, pretending like she's interested in trying the meat. And later on, she goes on, like, a date with him. She eats the meat. She ends up, like, throwing it up after. But she pretends like she's into it so she can get out. And then they go on, like, another date. He gives her this dress that's so ugly. It's a pink dress. Noah's going on this date with Steven in his house, and they're eating more meat. He is so enamored by her that he forgets that she is not handcuffed. And in this way, she's smart, because she does not run the first chance she gets. She waits. Here's where it starts getting good. This is when I'm like, okay, this movie's not horrible. Because the end is so, it gets meta. It gets meta. He shows her all the girls that he's, captured. Noah sees her friend Molly's phone, and so she knows. And while this is happening, the bartender, is driving towards his house. He has her location. So she's like, oh my god, he has my friend Molly. I'm gonna go for it. And they're like, so she's acting like she's super into Steven. They're about to hook up now, okay? They do a little cute dance, whatever. Cinematography, by the way, very good. It's very good. The shots are very beautiful. The lighting is great. Great. They are about to hook up, and she goes down on him, and she bites it. She bites it. She goes down on him and bites it. Which I loved it, because it's kind of like, he's eats people, and she did that as a way to escape. I loved that. He's like in pain, and she starts running, and she has blood all over her. She starts like letting Penny loose, Molly, and it's like the three of them trying to run away. And the ex-bartender guy is outside, and he's kind of like, I don't know if I want to go inside or not. This is a little sus. And as Molly, Penny, and Noah are running away, Steven is coming, and he's like trying to get them too. They end up taking like a meat grinder, and they're beating him up. And I thought it was such like a cool way, because it was like he does that to people, and that's the way they're coming back at him for it. I thought that was really clever. And so they're running away into like the woods. Obviously, he lives in the middle of nowhere, and he now has a gun. He starts shooting it. Bartender guy hears it, and he's like, no, I'm gonna go. You're like, oh, like, what are they gonna do now? And they start running, and then guess what? The wife, his actual wife, who we learned, sorry I didn't say this before, that she does not have a leg, assuming that he cut off her leg. She also had a wig on, and I thought that they were gonna like talk about that. I thought maybe he sold her hair, and that's why she had the awful wig on, but no, she just had an awful wig. Whatever. She comes to the house, and she finds out what happens. Turns out, she's on his side. She's into that stuff too. She ends up coming after Noah, Penny, and Molly. The last 15 minutes definitely gave me Ready or Not vibes, and I love that. That movie's so good, by the way. Steven and Molly. Actually, Molly, I don't know if she's dead. Steven is dead though. Noah shoots him. It ends with Molly and Noah. I don't know where Penny is. I think Penny's okay though. And they have a phone, and they're like, alright, we gotta go. And that's where it ends. I hope they don't do a second one. One was enough. So now that we got through the plot, I want to talk about my feelings towards the movie and what I think. So first off, they were definitely going for an American Psycho, Patrick Bateman vibe. Those are high expectations. And, Sebastian Stan, I think he could have done it if he did, they had a better script. I wish they went into his psyche more. Steven's psyche. That's what I want. And they didn't. And he was just I tried it for the first time when I was 18, but that's or 7 or 19. And I wish we got more of an idea why he does it. Second thought. The first 30 minutes were pointless and a waste of time. If you're going to watch the movie, honestly, just skip the first 30 minutes. There are a few callbacks, but they're not enough for them to be wasted on the first 30 minutes of the movie being bad. I didn't really feel like I felt connected to any of the characters. I cared most about Molly, the friend, because she's not even the main character. And I'm like, don't you feel like that's not right? I should be feeling bad for Noah also. I thought the movie was kind of most interesting when Noah was pretending to be like that, to be sick and into the eating stuff. That wasn't until the very end, and I wish we got more of that early on. I really wish it was from the friend's perspective, honestly. I guess I would recommend it again just if you skip the first 30 minutes. I'm so sick and tired of it being so many red flags. Like so many. I'm sick and tired of it. These ones were so obvious too. And I was like, we're living in a modern world. I don't think a girl would go on a random trip with some guy to God knows where. That's the movie. I wish that they spent more time on the characters themselves, other than me, I don't want to see Sebastian Stan dancing for that long. Like, I got the point the first time. I wish that they would have, more about his motives and his, psyche and stuff like that. His motives and his psyche. In the movie, I was never, scared. It's not, that scary of a movie. Honestly, it's not that scary. Just tell me what you thought about the movie, and, if you thought it was good, if you thought there was anything to change, or if you thought it was perfect, we can talk about it, because I don't have anyone else to talk about this movie with. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Yeah, let me know what you thought about the movie, and if you think there should be a second one. I don't think they're gonna do a second one, but it seemed like they could have. I hope they don't. I'll see you next video.